Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome to Puella Madoka Magica. Yes, this is the show that won the poll, that won the replacement poll for what's coming after Review Starlight. It was a very clear win, by the by. If you want to check out the full poll results, the video should be linked somewhere in the card in the top right corner. Yeah, Madoka Magica won, and what can I say about it? I'm I'm split a little bit. On one hand, I'm excited to watch something that's considered a classic, a must-watch, the Mahou Shoujo show that is expected of you almost that to have seen. I haven't seen it, and I'm excited to see what all the hubbub is about, because Madoka Magica, with just a single season, created so much talk about it, so much community, so much fan art, so much fan fiction, so much everything, to the point where this show is still alive after all those years. How many single season shows from that time period do you remember and do you talk about even nowadays? Not many would be my bet. That's why I was under the impression that Madoka Magica is a show that has like 5 seasons and 7 movies and 13 OVAs. It's a huge media franchise, but it turns out there is just a single season of the main series. There's 2 recap movies, one sequel movie or a sidequel. I'm not sure on that, but there is one movie. There is, I think, like 2 seasons of a spin-off show, and there is yet another movie incoming, I believe, something like that. So, not particularly much. I was expecting it to be some sort of a, Symphogear thing where you have all those OVAs and the seasons and live action shows, maybe even, or some stage plays or whatever. But no, it's just a single season. At least as far as the main show is concerned. I'm gonna be watching everything, just so you know. I'll probably skip not the sequel. No, I'm not gonna skip the sequel movies. I'm gonna probably skip the recap movies because I heard besides like improved art and animation at times and a new OP, it doesn't really bring anything new. Like no new scenes, no new ending. It's not like the Review Starlight recap movie that actually brought some new cuts, some new scenes, and a brand new, well, not a brand new ending, but an after ending, a foreshadowing for the sequel movie. It's nothing like that, so I'm probably gonna be skipping them. The spin-off series, I'm gonna be watching the sequel movie. I'm gonna be watching if there are any OVAs. I'm gonna be watching those as well. So rest assured. What else needs to be said about it? If you're new here, if you're new to the channel, if you just clicked on it because you got tempted by a Madoka Magica thumbnail in 2022, where it seems like everybody who watches anime has already seen it, and it's something new, and you clicked on it, welcome to the channel. Just a little bit of a housekeeping, how things look with me looking at non-seasonals, with me watching non-seasonals. Every episode is going to be a week early on Patreon. That's essentially the gist of it. This first episode I'm going to be releasing is just straight to YouTube, and soon after the first episode releases, I'm going to be releasing episode 2 on Patreon. So if you want to watch it early, that's how you can do that. As for the format of my videos, we first watch the episode with a timer, as you can see, and then there's time for discussion with the video in the corner, and lastly, time for some closing thoughts. There's gonna be like timestamps in the description of the video, like chapters, so you can skip to what interests you, although I would of course appreciate if you watched everything, because YouTube really likes to watch hours. What can I say? Anything else that needs to be said? Not really. Maybe about the show itself. I know close to nothing about it. Now, sure, it is a show that's very prominent in like fandom, anime fandom, right? So of course I did learn some things through osmosis. I need to look up one thing real quick. I have learned some things through osmosis, although I don't know all that much. What my knowledge is limited to, yeah, what my knowledge is limited to is that there is Madoka, who's the main protagonist. There is Homura, I believe, who I'm not entirely clear on her exact role, because from what I gather, she's maybe an antagonist, maybe a love interest, maybe both. I don't know where exactly to place her, so that shows you how much I know about it. I know that you don't necessarily need any sort of Yuri goggles to watch it, because it's maybe not quite obvious and in your face, right? It's not. What's that show? Mm, yeah, it's not like straight out shojo-ai Yuri or anything like that, but there is some subtext. I know that it's one of the shows that pulls maybe not quite a 180, but it's not a Mahou Shoujo show, the kind that you would see as a, I don't know, Sunday morning cartoon, where magical girls based on pastries are firing colorful hearts at enemies based on fast food dishes, or something like that. It's not necessarily that light-hearted, child safe Mahou Shoujo show, which Mahou Shoujo shows kind of started as that, right? As something that children, young girls would watch as a cartoon for fun, and Madoka Magica pulled a little bit of a twist on it, similarly to what Wixos did. I don't know which one was the first. I haven't been looking this much into the topic, but I do know that there is some twist, and I shouldn't expect just cute girls doing cute things. There's gonna be some dark themes, some deep themes. I don't know more about it. Maybe someone's gonna die, maybe someone's not gonna die. I have no clue. And I also know of Kyuubey. Kyuubey was in Naruto. This is Kyuubey, I think. I know it exists, and I know I probably shouldn't trust it. And if it appeared and proposed me a contract, I probably shouldn't sign it. And that's essentially the limit of what I know about Madoka Magica. I don't know any details. It kinda sucks that I know this much, to be perfectly honest with you, but it's a show that's been here since when did Madoka Magica start airing? Let me look it up real quick. 2011, right? It's been 11 years. So it's very hard to not know some things through sheer osmosis, through memes, through GIFs, through things like that. So alas, we are where we are. Thankfully, I don't know any twists, any deeper plot, or anything like that. One thing I do know for sure is that Madoka, the main girl, is voiced by Aoi Yuki. Possibly my very favorite voice actress, with the vocal range of I don't even know what to compare it to. She voiced Tanya, she voiced Clementine, she voiced so many characters with such varied voices that it's crazy. It really is crazy that her range is this much. Tsuyu in Boku no Hero Academia. Uh, who else? Taiho in Azure Lane. Tamaki in Enen no Shobutai. So many roles, so many varied voices. I'm super excited to witness another one of her performances. Is my lens slightly dirty? Sorry for that flashbang. Right, I think that about covers it. I can't really say anything more about the show because I don't know anything more about it, so we should probably just start watching it. I'm afraid, but I'm also excited. I'm nervous-sighted, you could say. So let me take a little sip of... Yeah, that's Earl Grey. Earl Grey with lemon. Subs. There we go. So that you can time your own copy with them, because YouTube's copyright sucks, and as much as I would love to show you the full thing, YouTube would penalize me for it. Even with the form I'm using, some of the shows that I've been recording have been copy claimed and I had to edit the video. I'd rather not do that again. So yeah, subs. I hit myself in the forehead. Sound. And a quick reminder of support: you can support the channel monetarily on Patreon. I've thrown links in the description. For $10 to get early access to non-seasonals, like Madoka, like Symphogear GX, and future seasons of Symphogear. And if you don't want to support me monetarily, I of course understand, you can still support the channel by sharing my videos, spreading the word, because the word of mouth really does matter a lot for the growth of a channel. And now, finally, with all of that out of the way, I can't stall it anymore. Let's start watching Madoka, Puella Madoka Magica version. Those are subs by Meguka, if I'm not mistaken. Right, let me take a quick peek at my Discord server. Meguka indeed. That was recommended to me. If you know any better subs, do let me know. I might consider switching, I might not, we'll see. So far from what I heard on my Discord, Meguka subs are perfectly fine, so we're going with those. And we're gonna start watching it. Episode 1 of Puella Madoka Magica version by Meguka in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. Prologue in Heaven. A little bit of... not necessarily mixed media, but some photos. Okay. One hell of a start. One hell of a start. I guess, like, right from the get-go, we're getting rid of the pretense that it's a children's show. Because with those visuals, you don't want your 5-year-old niece watching it on Saturday mornings. Also, cinematic bars. Widescreen format. Oh! Oh! What's the music? That took me by surprise in an extremely positive way. Reminds me of, like, Nier? A little? Although I haven't played Nier, I just listened to the songs. Nier Automata, to be more precise. A shield? Wait, is it episode 1? It is episode 1. Also, very interesting art style. Very sketchy. Not like solid outlines. Well, not everywhere. Like thatched shadows on her eyes. I love this area. I love this world. I love this music. It's not even 3 minutes in, I'm already falling in love with this show. Can I change fate? Are we going into some timey-wimey shenanigans here? Changing fate usually involves like going back in time. I have a feeling that what we just witnessed was a flash forward. And that little white thing, Kyuubey, I'm assuming, gave Madoka the power to like rewind in time. She maybe lost some of her memories or something like that. That's the vibes I'm getting. Any time it is mentioned that you can change destiny, it involves time fuckery. Every time. That's a very risk outfit. The clock that's endlessly ticked away, time again. Two Madokas. Future Madoka and current Madoka? Maybe? I heard this song. I don't remember who. Some VTuber that I've seen like a singing stream of sang it. It's probably super popular thing to sing for VTubers, so I can't tell you who exactly it was, but that's where I remember it from. This art style reminds me of like Nichijou a little. Why are there so many chairs here? I guess she's a hikikomori. That's a big ass bathroom. With like a weird futuristic display. I would never be able to tell it's Aoi Yuki. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I guess that's the thing about Aoi Yuki. You can never tell it's her because of her huge range. Everything's numbered? Nice office lady outfit. They're literally the same, just different colors. Okay, I hear some Aoi Yuki here. This little bit of rasp to her voice. And a high five. Okay. Kiss, kiss, high five. Okay, I guess it takes place in like vague future. Seeing the architecture and those weird displays everywhere. It really gives you the vibe of vague future, kind of like flip flappers, right? Their phones are probably translucent. Exactly what your mother said, secret admirers. She is. Everything you said is true about her. It really has such a unique art style, doesn't it? There's like double lines along their chins, thatched shadows, at least thatched shadows on their eyes. Okay, that looks dystopian as fuck. Soft. No, they have to be soft, my dude. I guess her marriage isn't going the best. I mean, soft yolk is the only kind of yolk. Anything else is overcooked. That's just how it is. I don't make the rules, lady. Homura? Yeah, that was her. With a weird rose themed buckler on her hand. Let me guess, her penmanship is also impeccable. Oh, already blushing profusely? I'm waiting for the first time some lilies appear on the screen. Christian school in Tokyo? Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting how the art style here at times looks like very, not low quality, but like low effort, but it works. You know, it's not like done in a low effort way because they run out of time or run out of money. You can see that it's like a conscious choice to not create some over detailed art style here. That's the vibe I'm getting. I probably shouldn't even have used the term like low quality or low effort. It's just very simple art style, but it works. It really does work. It really has that uh, hand drawn vibe to it. She does. Has she been in this school before? Okay, some anger. Some lip biting. Why? You shouldn't have been in the dream, you shouldn't have signed the contract? Looks like I'm right on the money. If so, then don't sign the contract with Kyuubey. Because I signed it and I was miserable. Or because you signed it in the future and you became miserable. You must never think about becoming someone else like a magical girl. That's impeccable penmanship. And of course, she's the best at everything, because of course she is. There's a huge variety of music in this show, isn't there? Now we're going for like very, whatchamacallit, very, very like folk, European folk kinda style. Like medieval music. Oh, hello! You creepy fuck. It probably does make sense, but not right now. It will make sense in the future. Probably, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Was it a dream? Or was it your memories? Or was it your actual life back then? Like, sorry that I'm so hung up on the idea of timey-wimey shenanigans, but it really would explain a lot, wouldn't it? Because it's the only explanation why Homura would know Madoka, but Madoka wouldn't know Homura. Other possibility would be if Madoka suffered memory loss for some reason, but from what we hear, she doesn't, so. Or is maybe Madoka like a chosen one, and Homura has been assigned to keep watch over her? That's why Homura knows of Madoka, but Madoka doesn't know of Homura? Because she was being watched from the shadows? I don't know. Who are you running from? From Homura? And where are we right now? Some underground bike garage? Everything's so translucent. So futuristic and translucent. And suddenly it's very... not quite Victorian, but kinda. Yeah? Mm, duality of worlds. The real world is bright and transparent and modern, and the world of magical girls is all old, rusted, crumbling. Maybe? Homura, hello. Okay, now would be a good time for an explanation, Homura. I guess we're not quite in an imaginary world, or like a dream world or whatever. It's actual reality. Well, not anymore, I guess. And we're back to the mixed media cutout photo things again. Of all times, what? The evil creatures, whatever they're called, are attacking? That's usually a thing in Mahou Shoujo shows, isn't it? They fight against some creatures, right? Yeah, very much so. Yeah, those are the enemies, I'm assuming. And I'm assuming this alphabet actually makes sense if you decipher it. That's some amazing art style. It very much does look like a dream, doesn't it? And we're getting all fucked up. Homura? No, someone else. Who might you be? A chain and a sensor? Why do I not trust her? Probably because of the ominous drone in the background. And shots like this. Some Irish step dance. And a henshin, I'm assuming. Yep. A henshin with some force behind it. That's cool. I always like it when like henshins and transformation sequences in general are grounded in reality. Oh, unlimited gun works. Floating guns. Maybe I should trust her after all. I really like floating weapons, what can I say? Homura, hello. the witch. Okay, I guess Kyuubey can be healed just like that. Kyuubey. Because both of you are eligible to become magical girls. Of course. Because the world of magical girls is so colorful and pure and inviting, isn't it? I really thought we're gonna first establish the world of magical girls as something like pure and colorful and fighting evil and whatnot, and then it would make sense for Madoka to agree because, oh, I can help people and I get to wear a cute dress and whatnot. But I guess we are right from the get-go establishing the world of magical girls as something you don't want. Like, very, very clearly, it's not a world you want to be a part of. Interesting. I thought we were gonna go for the pure, colorful thing, and then, haha, subversion, it really is dark and you have to kill each other. Right? But not quite. Not quite. Any kind of wish, of course. I'm assuming there is something the Kyuubey doesn't tell us when it comes to that wish. It's probably something like, I can grant wishes, but only to one of you, and now it's a battle royale. Whoever survives gets a wish, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. It's really giving me very unsettling, very uneasy vibes. And how about we analyze this show from the very beginning by going through it again? Shall we? Yes, we shall. This like mixed media. Well, not quite mixed media, but like some of it is hand drawn, but some is like photos and paper cutouts and painting stuff. It really creates right from the get-go, right from the very first frame, it creates an atmosphere of unease. Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei was doing the same thing. Some other show whose name eludes me also was doing the same thing. Review Starlight the movie with the produce Kirin also did the same thing, precisely because it takes you out, it rips you out of immersion. It completely breaks your immersion because you're watching some hand-drawn cartoon characters, suddenly a photo, suddenly a cutout, suddenly things don't look like they're supposed to. Kind of an uncanny valley situation, right? Although I guess not, because uncanny valley is things look almost how they're supposed to. In this case, they distinctly do not look like they're supposed to. And this beginning on like an old projector, yeah. And again, right from the get-go, black and white world, some weird shapes. The thing in the top left looks like a brain with like a crash test dummy symbol in the middle. Madoka running through this black and white, fantastical but also industrial world. It's not it's not like fantasy world. There are no trees and glowing mushrooms and stuff like that. There are gritters, there are tiles, there are stairs. Very mechanical, very not even like impersonal, more than impersonal, very dead, very not alive. There isn't anything organic here. Very inorganic, that's the word I was looking for. Except this tree. Except this tree is dead. There are no leaves. It's black. It's charcoal black. Something in the sky, some amazing music. I adore this track. Usually I don't pay much mind to background music in anime because usually it's nothing to write home about. This really took my attention. I really do enjoy this track. Some glimpses of color, but that color is red. Black, white, gray, and red are only colors we see here. Dead city, crumbling city, post-apocalyptic world. Is it really the future? Is it how the world ended up as? And Homura is the only one left to defend the last shreds of humanity? I don't know. All I know is that only magic has color here. It's too much for her to handle alone. She knew this prior to coming. And you can have the power to change destiny. This unavoidable destruction and sorrow. You can change it all. Tempting, like a devil, tempting you to give in. But why the distraction? And where are we right now? Or, better question, when are we right now? If it's the future, and it's the past Madoka being here in a dream, why isn't the future Madoka fighting alongside Homura? Is it a reality where Madoka never became a magical girl, and thus it's only Homura who has to fight, and she just can't do it alone? And that's the issue, that's the problem? Or is it a future where Madoka maybe died? And that other magical girl also died, and Homura is the only one left alive to defend... Defend what? Defend a dead world? From what? And of course, it was all a dream. OP, very, very, very cute and funny OP, of course, but there are eldritch horrors in the background, because of course there are. And there is another Madoka. Again, I'm purely assuming future Madoka. Maybe parallel Madoka. Maybe those are like parallel worlds. That could be it, you know? Maybe it's not like future and past. Maybe there aren't any timey-wimey shenanigans. Maybe there's just jumping between worlds. Maybe that world was already doomed. And why does Homura know Madoka then? Because Homura knew Madoka from her original world and then somehow transported herself to this world to maybe attempt to save this one. Why tell Madoka to not become a magical girl then? It seems like she could use the help. Could it be that Madoka is actually the chosen one, but not in the sense that I was thinking, not like the savior, but rather the bringer of calamity? That if she does become a magical girl, then it will inevitably lead to some apocalypse. Not even like willingly. It's not like Madoka would decide to, okay, time to wipe out humanity, but rather the sole fact that she's a magical girl will be a catalyst. Maybe. One thing for sure is that Homura really is giving me the vibes of either a world hopper or a time traveler who tries to prevent some calamity from happening. That much is for sure. I don't know if it's time travel or if it's parallel worlds. That much I do not know. Although the lyrics in the OP do mention like clock ticking or something, right? The clock that's endlessly ticked away. Yeah. Let's open the once closed door. Door that closed in a different timeline, that closed in a different world. We have another shot at it, another chance. Maybe? I don't know. My heart started racing once again to paint the future. Okay, I guess Madoka's other friend will also become a Mahou Shoujo. I thought she's gonna be the one who's like the normal one of the group, right? The Miku to Hibiki kind of deal, although I'm not sure about any like romantic feelings, probably none. But right, the anchor in like real world. But I guess she's also gonna become a magical girl. Extremely futuristic world. To a point of like of like overly futuristic, right? Like purely form over function. Right? Why do you need two faucets in a garden? For example, right? Why do you need your bathroom where you only have two two sinks? This room only has two sinks inside. Nothing else. Why does it need to be this huge? Why so many mirrors? Why such huge windows? It really is over futuristic. Interesting, very interesting. Also, why does her mother have so many chairs in her room? All I know is that right from the get-go, it gave me very creepy vibes, very heavy vibes. Like, my first assumption here was her mother is somehow mentally unwell. Maybe she's just spending entire days here in depression or something. The chairs are her obsession. Maybe she has OCD or whatever, right? Those kind of feelings. I was prepared to already have my heart crushed because this little kid wants her mama, but his mama is asleep and gives no fucks because she's too depressed and too mentally unwell to even care about her own child. That's immediately where my mind went. But I guess no. I guess her mother is just a sleepyhead who really likes chairs. For some reason. What's the screen here? Doesn't look like temperature. That looks like a departure board for trains, but I don't know. Stock exchange? Maybe? I don't know. I have no clue. Talking about love, talking about secret admirers and whatnot. The order. Why is everything numbered here? I don't know. But again, it's a thing that gives you fairly uneasy vibes, doesn't it? It's not normal to have your things laid out like this and numbered. It's normal to have everything just thrown into a bag sitting somewhere in the corner and you just browse the bag to pull out what you need, right? That's normal, right? Tell me that's normal. But having everything laid out like this, again, gives you a little bit uneasy vibes, because the first thought I had here, what's wrong? Why does she need everything sorted here and numbered? Is she having memory issues? Is she having OCD? What's the deal here? Because something is the deal. Also, interesting order. First foundation, then lip gloss. I think it's lip gloss. Then eye contours. Then powder. Then eyeshadows. Then... oh no, 5... wait. Foundation, lip gloss. 3 is... I don't know, some sort of an eyeshadow, I think. Or a blush? No, that's not a blush. Something. Then 4, the like facial powder. 5, eyeshadow. 6, eye contour. 7, eyelashes. 8, some sort of a, I don't know, bronze pen for lip outlines, for eye outlines. I don't know. I don't know my cosmetics this much. Then 9, whatchamacallit, lipstick. And 10, very colorful blush. It's really going like all around her face. It's not like it's like lips first, then face, then eyes. She's just jumping from one to the other. Interesting. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's how you're supposed to apply makeup. I've absolutely no clue. I never applied any makeup. No, that's a lie. A couple of times I did use some like powder to rein in my oily skin when it was super hot and I needed to record, and I didn't want to blind you with the reflections from my oily skin. But that's it. So maybe that's genuinely how you're supposed to apply it. Although I think you usually just apply lipstick first, then lip gloss, not the other way around. That much I think I do know. So, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Picking ribbons, secret admirers. Very normal family, very happy family, everybody's happy, everybody's living their best lives. Little do they know, shit's gonna go down. Some palm trees outside. Very modern house. And of course the trope of running out with a toast in her mouth. Also very green. That's another thing I noticed. It's modern and futuristic, but also green. It's not an urban hellscape, right? It's almost not quite like biopunk, but there is a genre of futurism, of like futuristic architecture and whatnot, that includes all that greenery. I don't know the word for it. Biofuturism? I don't know, something like that. And that's essentially it. I really do enjoy this, this like, not path, not arc, this branch of architecture and this branch of futurism. That it's green and hopeful and open and pedestrian friendly and whatnot. And it really stands in contrast with the Mahou Shoujo world, doesn't it? Right here you have rocks, there's some stream running straight through the city, unobstructed by anything. There's lush greenery everywhere. And in the Mahou Shoujo world, gritters, chains, concrete, gears, tiles, right? Huge contrast. And right, the thing about the art style here. This is like one of the examples. The art style is very simple, isn't it? It has some fairly like complex and curious elements to it, like the top of the eye being a very sketched line. Like it's not eyebrows, it's eyelashes. Like the double line underneath the chin. It's doing some interesting things, but at the same time, it is very very Nichijou. I'm also getting some Shimeji simulation vibes from this art style. Yeah, especially Madoka's squished head. It's really giving me Shimeji simulation vibes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Shimeji simulation. 100%. Talking about romance, talking about the normal high school girl things. Is this the texture on the ground? It looks kind of like it has jagged edges, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a conscious choice. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, there's like double lines along the chin. The like thatched shadows. Hmm. I think the one way to describe this art style is hand drawn, right? I think that's the best way to put it. Especially the faces, like the bodies, they have like shadows, probably digitally applied, but the faces are very much like a sketch, right? You maybe don't have a soft pencil with you. You just have a hard pencil like HB or H plus or whatever other nomenclature there is, and so you use thatched shadows, and the shadows on the eyelid are also like multiple lines, right? Very hand drawn. I like it. I like it. It's very unique, and of course Madoka's squished face. The school. Okay, I just noticed the like tower on the right side of the school with those windows pointing out, almost like a guard tower in a prison, right? Guard towers in prisons look like that. And this is peak dystopia. Jesus fuck. This is dystopian as hell. So far, everything had this futuristic style to it, right? But it was the good kind of futuristic. Everything is transparent, everything is translucent, everything is very clean. But through this translucency, through this cleanness, you see some plants growing, some tomatoes, some palms, some bushes, some stream, some nature, right? Through the glass of modernism, through your glass walls, you see the nature. This is the exact opposite of that. But at the same time, it doesn't go into the industrial hell of a magical world, of the magical girl world. It's just cubicles and cubicles and cubicles of transparent classrooms and nothing in them. Literally nothing. There aren't any benches on the corridors. There aren't any plants. There aren't any like posters on the walls, right? Like in a classroom, you would have some posters about how, I don't know, how human muscles are built, or about organic chemistry or whatever. Nothing. Extremely sterile. The sterile futuristic style here. In complete opposition to like Madoka's house, which is futuristic but isn't sterile. Although I guess it is to a degree. But it's like nature sterile. This is sterile. Talking about over easy eggs. And here comes Homura. Of course, she is beauty, she is grace. She's the best at everything, and Madoka immediately recognizes her. And it seems like Homura immediately recognizes Madoka as well. She went to a Christian school in Tokyo, apparently. And she wants to go to the nurse's office with Madoka. And immediately, again, the angle, the shadow, again, feeling of uneasiness. How did you know I was the health officer? How do you know the way to the nurse's office? How do you know me? Either because Homura already went through it in her previous world that she wasn't able to save, or because she already went through it in the past. Or in the future, like before, maybe she rewinded to the past to prevent the thing that Madoka witnessed at the beginning from happening, maybe. Again, either world hopping, reality hopping, or time travel. Nurse's office is, she knows where it is. It's kind of like you already know the way because she does. And I'm trying to like, oh yeah, this. Those little shots that we see every so often of Homura biting her lip, right? And being a little angry. At what? At Madoka's naivete? Naivete? Or something like that? At Madoka's ignorance, although she can't not be ignorant of things she doesn't know of, so probably not. Homura is definitely holding something in here. And we very soon learn what she was holding in. Yeah, don't become someone else. Stay as you. Now, why? Why is it significant that Madoka should stay as herself? Is Homura trying to protect her? That would be my bet, because why would she be angry with Madoka that she saved Kyuubey? Right? And why would she be trying to kill Kyuubey? To prevent it from forming contract with Madoka? Probably. Maybe, I don't know. Another explanation would be that Homura is trying to prevent whatever calamity Madoka being a magical girl might bring. That's another possibility as well. She doesn't want to like outright kill Madoka. She just wants her to not become a magical girl. What other explanations might there be? Another explanation might be what they're kind of trying to make us believe here is that Homura is a villain here. She's an antagonist, and maybe Madoka is the only one who's able to mess up her plans for world domination or whatever. I don't think so. I don't think so. Interesting. Yeah, I think she's trying to protect Madoka here, or protect the world from Madoka. Either or. I genuinely don't think Homura is a villain or an antagonist. However much they want us to believe that, I don't think that's the case. I might be sorely mistaken in the future. I don't know, but as it is right now, I don't think it's the case. Of course, she's able to solve everything perfectly. And she has perfect, she's perfectly athletic and whatnot. Why? Is she genuinely just this good? Is she genuinely a genius? Or has she been through the exact same song and dance already? However many times. However many worlds she failed to save, or however many timelines she failed to save. She's been through the exact same thing multiple times and she just knows the answers. Probably, maybe. Again, it plays into both the theory of world hopping and the theory of time travel. Either sounds plausible. I guess if you look at it a certain way, time travel is kind of world hopping because you're hopping from one timeline to the other. If you take the theory of time as a fractal, right, you're going back to some split and going through the other split. Different timeline, parallel world, kind of sort of deal, maybe. So I guess the both are kind of similar, kind of the same. Why is she so athletic? Because she's fighting those weird creatures that are coming at them sometimes, and she's just good at fighting, so she's athletic. And this. They really tried to make Kyuubey later, to make Kyuubey very, haha, what a cute little creature, we should trust it with everything, right? That's how Kyuubey is portrayed later. This isn't this kind of portrayal. The shadow, the huge ominous shadow, just a silhouette of Kyuubey being visible, and this dark, burned, charred, dead plant. All the other plants, everywhere, plants everywhere in the world, are green and lush and whatnot. The only time we've seen a dead black plant is in the Mahou Shoujo world, when Homura was fighting and the plant that Madoka found herself on. It's supposed to be ominous. We're supposed to think of Kyuubey as something ominous. Evil? Maybe. Maybe not necessarily evil or good, just something that exists and facilitates changes and events. Not inherently good, not inherently evil, just ominous. Although this visual can hardly convince you that Kyuubey is neutral or good, right? That's the vibe I'm getting. Yeah, everything is clear, clean, modern. She was sounded smart and beautiful, but no, she's just a weirdo. And I've seen her in a dream, and of course that's weird. Just a coincidence. Sure. If you want to believe that, do believe that, please. Look at the time. Sorry, I have to go. Okay, they're splitting up. I'm glad I wasn't born rich. The shopping mall, again, very clean, very modern. But still, plants everywhere and color everywhere. It's not just glass and steel. Kyuubey running and bleeding, being chased by Homura through some underground garage. And again, every time we step into the magical girl world, it's black, white, gray, with red lights, and heavily industrial. That really doesn't create the feeling of magical girl world being somewhere you want to be, right? It really doesn't. This mall is again very open, very translucent, very bright. And this is the entrance to the magical girl world. Figuratively, not literally probably. But again, black and white tiles. Everything's like decrepit. This floor has been closed for renovation. Very old, like Gothic. I don't think it's Gothic architecture. It's like Victorian, maybe. I don't know. Very whatchamacallit? Alice in Wonderland. Right? The checkerboard, the Victorian style, very Alice in Wonderland. And through that, we go to the industrial, dark, concrete and steel world of magical girls. Chains, chain link fence, steel gridders, concrete, ominous red light. Poor Kyuubey. Please don't hurt him. Of course, Kyuubey is very cute and you want to protect. It's like a stray kitten, right? Probably so that you trust it. Like an evolutionary adaptation, maybe. I don't know. Homura knows things, but doesn't say anything. Why doesn't she explain what's going on? Right? If Kyuubey is genuinely like evil, why doesn't Homura just say it? Hey, yo, this creature is evil. It will try to drag you into the world of magical girls. And trust me, I've been in the world of magical girls. It ain't fun, and I want to spare you that. Or maybe I want to kill Kyuubey to expire my contract. I don't want to be a magical girl anymore. And the only way to dispel it is to kill Kyuubey. Or, you know, whatever other kind of explanation. There's none. I'm never a huge fan of that when things could be potentially solved by talking, and yet the characters just choose not to talk or be super vague about what they're talking about. Not a huge fan, but then again, if they just had a discussion here, if they just had a dialogue, there wouldn't be a show, probably, right? Homura would have explained that, hey, Kyuubey is evil, or maybe if you become a magical girl, then you will bring about calamity, or whatever. Madoka would understand. Homura would just snap Kyuubey's neck, roll the credits, that's the end. No need for 11 more episodes, right? So I see where they're going with it, like narratively. I don't have to like it. What did I do? Nothing. Okay, still recording. Good. And here comes the friend with help, with some fire extinguisher. And again, the mixed media style that immediately gives you the feeling of uneasiness. That's not how anime looks. Right? Anime doesn't use photos and cutouts. That doesn't look like anime. What? The paper got ripped? That's not supposed to happen. Cutouts, cotton balls that are moving in a very, not frame by frame, very stop motion manner. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it looked. That's not how the outside world looks. And this, if you weren't convinced that this shit is creepy, this is supposed to convince you that, yes, indeed, this shit is creepy. Thorns, black holes for eyes, cut out hand-drawn mouths in a realistic way, chains, and here comes the yellow one. With a chain and holy hand grenade, sensor, bottle, I don't know, something. And she's friends with Kyuubey. Apparently. That's a very cool henshin sequence, I gotta say. Is it like a Fabergé egg? some step dance, and you see the like Mahou Shoujo henshins are usually, flowers and hearts and bubbles. There are flowers, but they're fucking hand-drawn paper cutouts. That's not how anime is supposed to look like. The background and the overlay are also not like drawn. That's not how it's supposed to look like. It's not a fun love hearts kind of transformation. The transformation itself, the henshin itself, is ominous. It gives you the feeling of uneasiness, and it has effect on the outside world. I love this one. This one thing that the force blast, the wind from the henshin just blows at Madoka and her friend, and the henshin proper, and she's now fully henshined, interacting with this weird non-anime world, and she has guns, and I love it. Like old flintlock, old flintlock rifles, and many of them. Unlimited gunworks, and fires them as a volley. Some great impact frame, rifled barrels, and one and done. They are back to reality. And the yellow one doesn't much like Homura. She threatens Homura. And Homura falls back. Why? Is the yellow one stronger than Homura? I don't know. Does Homura not want to endanger Madoka? I don't know. But Homura does fall back. Of course, it has a cute voice, cute face. Why are the subs not working? Sometimes. A request: become a magical girl. I can fulfill one of your wishes. I think that'd be really nice. The wish? Maybe. The consequences? The road towards that wish? Probably less nice. Okay. So, that was episode 1. Puella Madoka Magica. What I want to do now is what I do often. Meaning, I want to take a look at like the production. What studio made it, what people were responsible for it, right? All that stuff. Madoka Magica, where is it? Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica. There we go. Now, window capture. Window capture. There we go. Perfect. Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica. First of all, studio. That's a lot of producers. Studio Shaft. I don't think it needs to be it needs to be introduced, right? Ruby, Bakemonogatari, Monogatari overall, all sorts of Monogatari, Bakemonogatari, Owari Monogatari, Kizu Monogatari, Monogatari in general, Trigatsu no Lion, Nisekoi, and some other shows as well. Again, doesn't really need much introduction. Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, I think that's why my mind immediately went there, because they're using similar techniques to create uneasiness, right? Mixed. They take you out of the anime world by using some photos and scans and paper cutouts and stuff like that, like real people's faces, and some older shows as well. going as far as to 1980. Ashita no Joe 2. Okay, so that's the studio responsible. Studio Shaft. Staff. I definitely want to check out the staff. Original creator Magika Quartet. Okay, so Madoka Magica isn't an original show. It's based on a manga, or no? It's a collaboration between the main staff for Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica and its movie version. So I guess some group responsible for the Madoka Magica franchise in general. Yeah, everything they were involved in is just one form or another related to Madoka Magica. Gotcha. Director Akiyuki Shinobu, Chief Director Yukihiro Miyamoto, Character Design Takahiro Kishida, Art Director Kunihiko Inaba. Okay, let's go one by one. Director Akiyuki Shinbo, not Shinobu, Shinbo, Akiyuki Shinbo. Madoka, Bishonen Tanteidan, whatever that is, Owari Monogatari, Fate Extra, Trigatsu no Lion, Kizu Monogatari, Shaft shows in general. He seems to be very much a Shaft employee, a Shaft director. Yeah, everything Shaft is done by him. Maybe not everything Shaft, but everything done by him is Shaft, mostly. Yukihiro Miyamoto, chief director of Madoka Magica. Again, Madoka Magica, Monogatari, Trigatsu no Lion, Nisekoi, another purely Shaft employee. Takahiro Kishida, a character designer. Now we're stepping outside of Shaft shows. Tokyo 24-ku, character design. Orient, character design. Haikyuu, Kageki Shoujo, Gleipnir. More Haikyuu, Durarara. Of course, Madoka Magica, Busoshinki, Durarara again. Azumanga Daioh. Oh, Azumanga Daioh. The faces are kinda reminiscent of Azumanga Daioh faces, aren't they? I guess it makes sense. Mahotsukai Tai, very similar faces again from what I see. Serial Experiments Lane. Yeah. Makes sense. Ninja Mono, Macross, and some other older shows, very old shows even. Appleseed, Crusher Joe, Kunihiko Inaba, art director. Holy Night Light. Oh, that's the Arknights short, right? Yeah, that's the Arknights short for the first anniversary. I highly recommend you guys check it out. It's amazing. Burn the Witch, art director. Amewo Tsugaru Hyoryu Danchi, art director. Natsu no Niwa. Junji Ito collection. Psychopaths. Mondai Jitachi. And the rest is just art design and background art. Not many roles. Yeah, not many roles. Surprisingly few. Or is it just not loaded? No. The dude just went from background art assistants to art design to background art to art director. One hell of a path in your career. And then to background art, and art director again. Okay. Who else is there? Another eye director, Yuji Kaneko. Sound director, Yota Tsuruoka. Also a sound director on Monogatari series 3. Violet Evergarden, Obsolete. Mayonaka no Occult. Tejina Senpai, interesting. Not limited to Shaft shows, it seems. Kobayashi Sanchino Maid Dragon, art sound director, that's cool. Hibike Euphonium, and the rest is Monogatari series. and some other shows. Yamada-kun, Chunibyo, and Monogatari. Biohazard Damnation, apparently. That's kinda odd. Axel World, A-Channel, Nichijou K-On! Yuji Kaneko, the second art director for Madoka Magica. Art director for Osama Ranking, for Spriggan, for Tsukito Laika to Nosferatu. Okay, that's why art direction in Tsukito Laika to Nosferatu was so good, I'm assuming. Star Wars Visions for one of the episodes. Heikosen Blue Line. Hisomaso, that's interesting. You don't really hear much about Hisomaso. I myself haven't finished watching it, but from what I have seen, genuinely cool show. Background art for episode 6 of Review Starlight. Art director for Little Witch Academia, the OVA, I believe. Art director for Kill la Kill OVA and for Kill la Kill proper. And for Little Witch Academia proper. Yeah, fairly prominent roles. Background art in Chobits, and dude started as background artist for Parappa the Rapper. Figures. Who else is there? That's worth checking out. Producer, why not? Many background artists. I'm not gonna be able to check out all of them. Episode directors, storyboarders, animation director, key animations. That's a lot. Alternative space design. Oh, that's I'm interested in. Let's first check producer of Yofukashi no Uta. Makes sense. Highly recommend Yofukashi no Uta, by the way. I repeat it with every single episode I record. Watch Yofukashi no Uta. Planning for Kaguya-sama, for Kunoichi Tsubaki from Likoreko. Production for Osama Ranking. For some other fairly prominent shows, Hadaraku Saibo Black, Yakusoku no Neverland, Mahaka Koko no Rettosei, Ovari Monogatari again, Monogatari series, Banana Fish, Seishun Butayaro, Darling in the Franxx, fairly prominent roles again, Gekidan Inukari, animation duo. Okay, very creepy art style you can already see from here. Alternate space design for Madoka and the Madoka spin-off Magia Record. Background art for Fate. Mostly just Madoka, Nise Monogatari, Bakemonogatari, Guren Lagann, Parallel Works, and Universe, whatever that is. And Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, episode director. The shows that I would just about expect them to work on. Okay. That does it. Now characters. Let's check out the the voice actors. Madoka Aoi Yuki, as I already mentioned, the voice of everyone. The voice of Tanya Degretrov. The voice of... we already went through it, right? The voice of Madoka, the voice of Tsuyu, Tanya already mentioned, the voice of Taiho, and all those other characters. The voice of Hibiki, of course, how could I have forgotten that she also voices Hibiki in Symphogear. Clementine, my favorite character from Overlord, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a pity that she ended up the way she ended up. Popuko, of course, but then again, who hasn't voiced Popuko? Many other roles as well. Homura, Chiwa Saito. Chiwa Saito also voiced Senjogahara in Bakemonogatari. Also voiced Chloe in Prisma Ilia. Also voiced... who else I recognize? I don't... Oh, Francesca in Strike Witches. Of course. Moriyama in Hisomaso. And some other roles as well. Mostly Homura, Senjogahara, and Chloe von Enzenbern. Einsbarn, not Enzenbern. Einsbarn. Einsbarn, whatever. Tao Kaka in BlazBlue. As well as a plethora of other roles. Mami, that's her name apparently. Kaori Mizuhashi. Kaori Mizuhashi also voiced characters like Shima, Saki Shima in Eurocamp. Characters like Cheetah in Kemono Friends 2, Yuris in Violet Evergarden, Ogi Oshino in Owari Monogatari. And not many other characters that I would recognize, I'm afraid. No, I don't recognize anybody else at a glance, I'm afraid. But maybe you do recognize some of those characters, so you will immediately know who that is. Sayaka Miki, voiced by Eri Kitamura, who also voiced Lucky in Tokyo 24-Ku, Mina in Boku no Hero Academia, Muton Tsuchiya in Girls und Panzer, Miti in Made in Abyss, whatever the fuck Miti is, Darjeeling in Girls und Panzer, Homura. Okay, that's an interesting art of Homura. Oh, Homura in Senran Kagura, not Homura in Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica. I thought there's gonna be like a beach episode in Madoka Magica and this is gonna be Homura. No, alas, not the case. Ranko in Hajime no God. And of course, plenty other roles. And I mean plenty. We're only at 2014 right now. Yeah, that's a lot of characters she voiced. Okay, next, Kyuubey, Emiri Katoru, who also voiced Aura Bella Fiora in Overlord, Becky Blackbell in Spy X Family, which also means Riko Saikawa in Kobayashi Senshi no Maid Dragon, also Mayoi Hachikuji in Monogatari, Star 15 in Those Frontline. Those are roles that I immediately recognize, mostly because Riko and Becky share the same voice actress, which was crazy to me because they are very much alike. Akatsuki in Log Horizon. Who else? Popuko, but then again, who hasn't voiced Popuko? Who hasn't voiced Pipimi? And yeah, other characters that I don't necessarily recognize at an immediate glance. Oh, the nun from Boku no Tomodachi. Okay. Next one, let's see. Kyoko Sakura, we haven't met her yet, so I'm not gonna click on her. Hitomi Shizuki, we did see her. And she was voiced by Ryoko Shintani, who also voiced someone in Non Non Biori. And nobody else that I recognize at a glance, I'm afraid. Oh, Nami Hito in Zetsubo Sensei. But besides that, I don't recognize any of those characters. That's many roles in Galaxy Angel. Well, same character, but many many series, I guess, of it. Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, of course. Theme song performance, interesting. Next, Junko Kaname, who's Madoka's mother, is voiced by Yuko Goto, who voiced Josei Kyoshi in Kobayashi in Kobayashi no Maid Dragon, who voiced also Georgie in the same show, who also voiced Abiru in Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, who also voiced nobody else that I would again immediately recognize. Yeah, okay, but she voiced Georgie, and that's all I need to know about her. Tomohisa Kanae. All the time I want to say, every time I want to say like Hibiki's mother, Hibiki's father, but no, Madoka's father, Madoka's mother. Madoka's father, Tetsuya Iwagana, who also voiced not many other people, certainly nobody I would recognize. Yeah, those are shows too old for me to have seen. And yeah, let's just check the Junko Iwao, voice of Kazuka Saotome, the teacher, who also voiced nobody I recognize. Again, I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't recognize any of those characters, alas. And I don't know, the younger brother, I guess, Kaori Mizuhashi. Okay, the same voice actor as Mami Tomoe. That's interesting. Wait. Kaori Mizuhashi. Okay, that's cool. That's interesting. And yeah, that's gonna be it for the staff, for the voice actors. We're already way past an hour and a half. So it's time to sum up my thoughts. It's already dark outside. Yeah, it's very, very late. Right, my thoughts. I immediately fell in love with this show, honestly. From the extremely imaginative and dreamlike sequences to the use of those paper cutouts and different art styles to create the feeling of creepiness, of uneasiness, to the simplistic but alluring art style of the characters. The music is amazing. Everything is great. Everything is amazing, honestly. So far, I don't think I have anything that I would like dislike, that I would maybe not care for. I guess the only one thing that I can, I don't know, bitch about is Homura not explaining things to Madoka, but I'm guessing she has her reasons, so it's kind of whatever, and it's also a thing very common in anime, so I can't really complain about it, because if I did, I would have to complain about every single show existing, because as not great as it is, the action and the story of many shows is based entirely on the premise of someone not saying something or two people not communicating. It's a sad reality, but it is a reality, so what can you do? I learned to just not care about it, honestly. I it kind of I had different expectations of this show. That much is for sure. As I mentioned, I expected it to start with, sunshine and rainbows, right? Maybe Madoka is attacked by some creepy monsters, and then Kyuubey appears and is like, "Hey, you have the potential to be a Mahou Shoujo. Sign a contract with me, and I can give you powers so you can protect your friends." And Madoka signs the contract, and she transforms with bubbles and sparkles and hearts and flowers. Does this kind of pose at the end of her henshin and blasts the creepy crawly monsters with a stream of heart-shaped bubbles, right? And then around episode 3, around episode 4, the creepiness starts crawling in, the darkness starts crawling in, right? Maybe Madoka attacks some enemies, and the enemies don't just vanish in a cloud of bubbles, but start bleeding and convulsing, right? And oh, has it always been this way? Maybe I had like pink rose tinted goggles, and maybe I was actually killing those creatures. Are those creatures even evil? Right? That kind of deal. I really thought we're gonna like gradually introduce the darkness, the creepiness into the show, or we're gonna have an episode where we do a complete 180. And oh, you thought it's just a cute little funny show about Mahou Shoujo, haha, think twice, chuckle fuck. And it immediately starts with death, gore, destruction, and whatnot. But no, we just went there right straight from the get-go. The very first sequence is already creepy, already makes you feel uneasy, and that feeling of uneasiness only grows and grows and grows with time, to the point where, how should I say it? It might be even just a little overbearing, not like in a negative sense, but in the sense that I see that the creators of this show are trying to misdirect us, mislead us, right? They're trying to. Who the fuck is driving a motorcycle at this hour? They're trying to show us that, hey, Kyuubey is so cute and everybody should trust Kyuubey. But you can't do that when you saw his silhouette sitting on a dead plant and ominous shadow, right? You are shown. The creators of the show want to tell us that, hey, Mommy is a friend, Mommy is trustworthy, we should trust Mommy. But her henshin sequence has those creepy elements to it, those elements that don't fit the elements of that other world. It's creepy. She fights with like a chain and a sensor or a Fabergé egg or whatever that is. The creators are trying to misdirect us to tell us that, hey, maybe Homura is the villain, maybe she is the antagonist. But it doesn't work entirely because I don't know how to explain it, but I'm just getting the vibe that she really is trying to protect something, protect someone. Either protect Madoka or protect the world from Madoka. Either way, and I'm really not getting the vibes of her being a villain. Mainly because she's like fighting against Kyuubey, and Kyuubey was shown to be an ominous character, and Mami is also kind of ominous, kind of overbearing. So yeah, the if this episode toned down the creepiness, the otherworldliness, the uneasiness, toned down it just a little bit, I could maybe be convinced that Kyuubey is a friend, that Mami is a friend, and that Homura is evil and tries to prevent Madoka from fulfilling her wish or whatever. But or maybe they aren't trying to go for that. Maybe they aren't trying to go for a misdirection. Maybe the creators are actually trying to tell us that, hey, Kyuubey is fucking creepy, Mami is fucking creepy, Homura is also fucking creepy, but she probably tries to protect the world, so hey, maybe she's the most trustworthy here. I don't know. Madoka is to be trusted. Sayaka, the blue-haired girl, is to be trusted. The rest, I'm not sure. I guess one reason why they might be going for the creepiness and uneasiness right from the get-go is that it's just 12 episodes. Is it 12 or is it like a 2-core? No, it's 12 episodes. It's literally just a single core. So they kind of have to get on with it if they want to tell some story. And it seems like they are trying to tell some story, some really deep and strong story here. they're gonna need those episodes, so they can't waste like an episode or two on misdirecting us. Yeah, yeah, I have a feeling that might be it. Interesting. One thing for sure, I absolutely love it. I can already see it becoming a huge mindfuck of either jumping worlds or jumping in time or jumping realities, or maybe everyone is dead and the action takes place inside of Madoka's mother's head as she's bedridden and comatose. I don't know, I can expect absolutely anything from this show. One thing I can expect for sure is creepiness and uneasiness. Besides that, everything's fair game, honestly. But yeah, it's 15 minutes to 2 hours, so I'm gonna end it here. I really went on about this episode, didn't I? Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. So you guys, you tell me down in the comments, what did you think of this episode, of my reaction, of my theories? No spoilers, please, I beg of you. No spoilers. Don't destroy the fun for me. Don't destroy the fun for yourself. Don't destroy the fun for your fellow watchers. If I'm correct about some of my assumptions, don't confirm it. If I'm blatantly incorrect about some of my assumptions, don't correct me. Right? I want to be wrong, I want to be right, and I want to see for myself whether or not I was wrong or I was right. No spoilers, please. Okay, what else? You can talk spoilers, though. On my Discord, link here, link also in the description, there's a Madoka Magica channel. There you can join it, you can use spoiler tags and talk about Madoka Magica spoilers in that very channel. I'm not gonna be clicking those spoilers, so I'm not gonna be reading them. It's fair game for everybody else. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Madoka Magica but also Symphogear GX, also Yofka Shinuta Call of the Night, which is an amazing show as I already mentioned, also Overlord Season 4, Hataraku Mao-sama Season 2, Ruby, Ice Kingdom. All of those shows are very much worth watching, so check them out and stay subscribed, click the bell icon, all of that jazz. I'm also gonna be playing Disco Elysium shortly, so might want to be subscribed for that as well. What else? Support the channel if you want on Patreon, link in the description. For $10 a month to get early access to non-seasonal shows like Madoka Magica, like Symphogear GX, and whatever other non-seasonals come in the future. For $5 you get to vote in seasonal polls. A result of one such seasonal poll is Madoka Magica, so if you won't have an impact on future polls, $5 is all you need. And for just $1 a month, you get a role on the Discord server, and you also get a place in the credits that will be appearing on the screen very, very, very shortly. You can also support me on Throne, link again in the description. You can pitch towards me buying some new gear, right? You want me to buy a new camera, you can throw $5 towards my purchase of that very camera. That's how it works. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, it costs nothing, it's completely free and gratis. You can just share my content, spread the word. If you know someone who's thirsty for a brand new reaction series to Madoka Magica, share this video with them. Why not? Help me, help them, help yourself. I don't know, make your friendship stronger because you shared this content with them and they really liked it and they're grateful to you. I don't know, share it. It really helps a lot, the word of mouth. It really helps grow a channel. And I think that's all I needed to say. So, join my Discord, already said that. So, yeah, that's gonna be it from me for today. So, as always, you guys do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's the credits I mentioned. You can be one of those people if only your heart so desires.